everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to be here with Shai Reshef, who is the president of University of the People. I'm Jessica. I am working with Shai on his social media, and I have a long history with University of the People, so I'm very excited to be here as well. I just want to say to everyone, all the new students, current students, past students, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to the new term. It's not just the new term, it's the first day of term one. So that's very exciting. We have some very exciting news that we have 170,126 students from 213 countries and territories beginning their next step in education with University of the People. Shai, that's very exciting for the university. How do you feel about these numbers?
I think that I cannot be happier that we opened the gates to 170,000 students. We are by far the fastest growing university in the world and one of the biggest universities in the world. And it can't make me happier, not because of the size, but because we're opening the gates of higher education for so many students. The university was created in order to open the gates of higher education for every qualified student who does not have other opportunities. And being able today, at the beginning of the new academic year 2026, to come and say that we have over 170,000 students coming from 213 countries and territories. And I have to admit that when I started the university, I didn't know that there are so many countries and territories. Some of them I didn't even know that exist. So I welcome all of you, all the 170,000 students, all the thousands of students who are on the call right now, especially those who are coming from very small countries that some people might not know that they exist. So all of you are very welcome to be here, and I am extremely happy for this day and for this achievement.
So I just want to echo that a little bit and say that many of you, many of our students, many of you here today have overcome financial, geographic, and social barriers to be here today, and we're so proud of you. One of the coolest things about University of the People is that you get to meet people you wouldn't necessarily meet otherwise, because it's obviously a remote online university. So everyone is studying together and sharing their different backgrounds, cultures, views. So this is one of my favorite things about the university, is the connections that you'll make. So I'm very excited for all of you. That being said, I know I already said I'm speaking with President Shai Reshef today, but Shai, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit. Everyone knows that you're the president of the university, but maybe people haven't necessarily heard you speak, and you're so personable. So maybe you could introduce yourself a little bit to the students.
Well, I'm not sure today is about me, it's about the university, but sure, I'll say a few words about myself. I was involved in for-profit education for many, many years. And after selling all my business, I realized first that first of all, being involved in education, I realized a sentence that I keep repeating, that when you educate one person, you can change a life. When you educate many, you can change the world. I also witness that a lot of people around the world cannot attend higher education. And for many reasons, maybe it's too expensive, maybe they live in countries where there aren't enough higher education institutions, maybe they are deprived for political, cultural, personal reasons, maybe they simply working adults and they missed university because they went right to work after high school. Many of our students got married, have kids, and cannot afford going back to school, neither in terms of flexibility and affordability. And realizing all that, I felt that since there are millions and millions of people around the world who need higher education and cannot get it for all the reasons I described, online can be the solution for them. So I decided to start an online university that will be tuition free, that will open the gates of higher education for every qualified student, but at the same time maintain high quality. So opening the gates of higher education is one thing, ensuring that the education that our students get is quality education and that they can find jobs. So that's what we did. We announced the university in 2009. Since then, well, and we started teaching actually in September 2009 with less than 200 students. Now we have 170,000 students. So we grew quite fast in the last 16 years. But there are still a lot of people out there that need our services. That's why we are continuing to grow. At the same time, we have more and more graduates, and we are working very hard to help them find a job, but also to make sure that they come with the right education that will prepare them for the future. So that's about the university, and that's the university that I started, and I'm the president of. But university run by amazing people, so they're the people who do it. I'm just one person. So yeah.
Well, it's an incredible achievement. Thank you for sharing your story with our students. So now I want to kind of flip the table a little bit, and I want to engage with our students a little bit. So we have a chat section. We would love to hear from you. Maybe you can tell us where you're studying from, where you live. I think that's, like I said, a really cool aspect of University of the People is that we have students studying from all over the world. So maybe you could drop a line where you're from, what you're studying, and if you have a question for Shai that you want him to answer. So that being said, let's pull some questions that we've received before the webinar when you guys registered. So I'm going to ask Shai a few questions based off of what students have already asked. So the first question comes from Abdul. I'm not going to use last names. I'll just say first names. So Abdul. Do we know where Abdul's from? We don't. But Abdul. So his question for you, Shai, is, and you kind of touched on this, but maybe we can expand a little bit, is what inspired you to create a tuition-free university, and what keeps you motivated to continue the journey despite global challenges?
Well, I think that, as I mentioned before, what drove me to creating the university is first the realization of how important education is for people and how it can change people's life. This was the first motivation. The second one, the realization that there are tools to do it. Because before starting University of the People, I ran a for-profit university in the Netherlands. And that's where I realized how online can be so powerful. We had students from all over the world. They can stay home, keep their job, and still get this great education. Also understanding that online can serve it, and that there is a goodwill out there that can help making it affordable. That was all the ingredients that we need in order to create University of the People, because I realized very early that you can create online university, but most online universities, if not all of them, are extremely expensive. So saying that there is an opportunity for people who did not have a previous opportunity is great, but if it's not affordable, it's actually not a possibility for them. So realizing that it can be tuition free and can be open to everyone, and that was the motivation. That's how we started, and I think that since then, my always motivation is how can we serve more and how can we serve better? Because being a university with 170,000 students is amazing, but we're sure that we give the best service we can to our students. Second, what do we do in order to accommodate more people that are knocking on our doors and cannot make it? So that's where we are. That's what keeps me at night all the time, and that's what keeps all the people who work at the university trying to see how to do more and how to do better.
And okay, Shai, thank you for sharing. And one question I have is maybe you can explain about a lot of the faculty who work at the university are volunteers. A lot of people volunteer their time, so we're able to have a very lean budget. Maybe you could talk about that a little bit so we can serve more people.
Right. I think that we have a very lean budget. Probably we are the smallest budget university in terms of our budget compared to our size. And the reason for that is because we do everything that the students need, but nothing beyond what they need. And we do everything the least expensive way that we can, as long as we maintain quality. So a few examples would be, we tell all of our students, many of you are on this call, if you just started today, when they come to us to take 2 foundation courses. And the foundation courses serve 2 reasons. First of all, it enables us to accept everyone. Anyone with high school diploma and sufficient English can start studying with us. Well, Arabic as well, if you study in Arabic. But you come to us and we say, take 2 courses and show us that you meet our standards. But also see for yourself that you like what we're doing. Because maybe you don't have the motivation to study by yourself. Maybe you don't have the discipline to study by yourself. Maybe you simply don't like it. It's a different system, which is okay. You're allowed to decide that it's not for you. But if you decide that it is for you, show us that you meet our standards and you pass these 2 courses. If you pass these 2 courses, obviously you get credit for them and continue with us as a degree-seeking student. I mention it because I think it's a great example of the way we think. Instead of having, university with our size, we'll have in the admission office thousands and thousands of people verifying the biography, the CV of the students, reading essays, checking websites and social media to see if the students are whom they say they are. And we say, we don't need all these people. Just come, take 2 courses. If you pass them, you're good to go. That's all we need. We need to know that you meet our standards. We don't care about how good students you were in your high school. Just show us that you meet our standards. So this is the way we think. We save a lot of money, but not having a huge admission team. But at the same time, we ensure that we have a great admission screening process. You're good enough to succeed in our courses. You're good enough to study with us. And I think that's how every university should operate. So we do a lot of things that save us money. We don't have buildings, obviously, as other universities. Buildings cost a lot of money to maintain. We use technology wherever it can save us money and give us the quality that we need. We don't offer a lot of courses. We don't offer a lot of electives. We don't offer things that other universities offer, such as a football team, swimming pool, climbing walls. All these things are very important. Are they crucial for your education? No. So we give you what you need, and you don't pay for what you don't need. So that's actually what we're doing, and we're doing it very well. And we're able to save a lot of money, and therefore be tuition free. We are not free, as you know. We ask our students to pay for the assessment, but this is obviously a fraction of what they would pay in any other university, and we are very proud to do it and to continue doing it.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing. I think it's a really important value of University of the People. Speaking of values, we have a question from Vladimir, and he asks, what is the most important value you want every student to take away from their experience at University of the People?
That's a good question and an interesting question. Um, you know, I keep saying, I said it before, and I'll say today as well, that my best advice to the students is never give up. Don't give up. And if you have hard time, just continue working. You will make it happen. And I think that this is the main thing I would love the students to come out of the university. The knowledge that if you invest in anything, especially in your career, and work hard and never give up and overcome obstacles, you will succeed. And sometimes I meet students who all of a sudden along the way, they feel like it's too hard and I have to give up, I have to stop, or I have to take a break. Well, telling yourself that you take a break is the best way to give up because after you take a break, it's really hard to come back. But um, but I want our students, when they graduate with us, to know that the sky is the limit. They can achieve it. It's only a matter of dedication, hard work, and actually never giving up.
Absolutely. Never give up is a great piece of advice. I just want to say that I'm listening to Shai and I'm like glancing over the chat, and I just want to say I'm so impressed with everyone's activity in this chat. You guys are really interacting, and I see people are sharing WhatsApp groups and introducing yourself. I saw some people introducing themselves on with their LinkedIn links. So thank you guys for interacting. I think it's a really this chat is a great resource. So if you guys can glance over every now and then to see what people are saying while you're listening to Shai speak, I think it's really beneficial for you. Okay, let's move right along to a question from Jasmine. Jasmine asks Shai, how do you envision the university adapting its unique model to address the evolving global landscape of higher education in light of rapid technology advancements and the increasing demand for skills-based learning? This is a great question, Jasmine.
This is a big question that might take hours, if not days, to answer, but I'll try. Can you see me and hear me well?
I think you're a little frozen, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I definitely see myself that I'm a little frozen, but I don't know if I can do anything about
I can hear you, so that's the most important thing.
Okay, so I think that higher education is evolving. Right now, a lot of students are looking toward education that will be affordable, but also will lead them to a good job. I think that from that perspective, we are actually pioneering in doing so. Obviously, we are tuition free, so we are the first to make higher education affordable, which, by the way, is very important because when, the number of US students who go to college, now I'm talking about the US, not about the entire world, is decreasing. And it is decreasing not because students do not believe in the value of higher education. They don't believe that the amazing price that they need to pay in order to get higher education worth the cost. So you might leave higher education with a degree and $200,000 loan. This is unbelievable. Will you ever be able to pay for it? So a lot of students say we don't want to go to higher education because we don't want to have a life debt. We are showing that higher education can be accessible and affordable. This is one part. The second part is that more and more students, and in a way it's connected to the first point, are saying to themselves that they want to study something that will be practical for their lives. They don't want to study um, only courses that will enrich them but will not help them find a job and will not prepare them for the job market. Again, we are doing exactly that. University of the People offer business administration, computer science, and health science as a bachelor degree, as well as MBA, Master in Education, and Master in IT as a graduate level courses. And we chose these degrees or these programs. It was not an accident. We chose them because we knew that these are the degrees that are likely to help our students find a job. And our students come to us exactly for that. They want to have a better future. Now, we do believe that having general education is important. Created well-rounded individuals with critical thinking is important, and we do it. But we do it while we're teaching our students toward jobs. And I'm very happy to say that when you look at our graduates, and we have many thousands of graduates now, that they end up in great companies such as Amazon, IBM, Google, Apple, Microsoft, World Bank, JP Morgan. That's exactly, they do that exactly because that's what we taught. So these are two questions that you just asked, but I think that your question goes into additional area that is also important, how higher education is going to evolve in the coming years. I think I remember all the questions. I'm shocked that I remember so many questions. But I think that higher education is going to be much more focused on what it offers the students and the price that will be involved. So I think that universities, if we start with the US, will specialize in different fields. There will be one university that will teach you, I don't know, whatever you want to study. That's the university that is best in this field. Every university will have its specialty, and every university will have the price range that is actually the price that is relevant for what they offer. So I think that there will be many universities that will offer different things that they offer right now, but at the same time, a lot of universities will adjust their prices online, by the way. In the US, enable universities to cut dramatically their costs. See what we do with our offering. And around the world, it will also be a place where countries will adapt online, like our solution, to open the gates to those who don't have seats in the existing universities. And to say just one thing about Africa, and I don't know how many African students are on this call. I see that we have thousands of students on this call, but I don't know how many of them are in Africa. And in Africa, in every single state, there is a lack of seats in the existing institution, higher education institution. Every state, there are more people who are qualified for higher education, want to study in higher education, even willing to pay, but there aren't seats available for them. Online is the solution. I was a few weeks ago in a conference in the UN with the LDCs, Least Developing Countries Organization, where they simply do not have enough institutions to accommodate the people who deserve to have higher education. And when you look at the LDCs, and these are the least developed countries, and if they want to jump ahead, they need people with the knowledge. They need people with higher education. How do you do that if they don't have enough universities? They don't have the capacity to build it. They don't have the people to do that. Well, online is the solution. Maybe we will do it for them. Maybe they will do it themselves. But the point is that higher education is the best way. Online higher education is the best way going forward. And with AI. And with the advancement of technology, online learning is becoming more and more relevant to have great education to as many people as want and need. Long answer. I'm not sure I answered everything that you asked if you're on the call, but I tried.
So, Jasmine, that was a great question. Shadrach also asks, and you kind of touched on it, but you were speaking more about general higher education. But I want to ask Shadrach's question, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly. Where, Shai, do you see University of People in the next 10 years? I like this question.
I like this question a lot, and I would like it even more if I knew where we will be in 10 years. Who knows? I think that, look, I said our mission is to offer higher education to as many people as we can with the right quality. And I want to go back 15 years. In 2010, at the Clinton Global Initiative, I committed your people to offer 250 scholarships for survivors of the earthquake in Haiti. And we did that. And a few months later, I came to Haiti to greet the new students who started studying with us. And the host there arranged a meeting with potential students. And one of the questions there was, what do you want to achieve? And how many years are you going to do that? And a few months later, when I came back, someone sent me the recording of that meeting. And what I found myself saying then, I want to repeat now because I think it was true then and it's true now. I said that there are so many people in the world that deserve higher education and we want to serve them. So we are going to grow and grow and grow until one day we'll wake up in the morning and realize that all the people in the world who need higher education have a solution. And there is no need for us anymore. Probably at that point, we'll go back to sleep and wake up with a different dream, a new dream. So the short answer is that we will continue growing as long as we can maintain the quality and serve as many people as we can. At the same time, we hope that others will replicate what we do because what we do is not secret. We hope that governments will adopt what we do because that can be the solution in countries where higher education is in crisis. So it is a solution that others can do, and we will continue growing and serving the students, as I said, as long as there is a need for us and as long as we can maintain the quality of our services. I'm not sure I can be more concrete than that because I don't know.
I think it's a great answer, Shai. Thank you. Okay, so I see a question from Nikita, and I also love this question because I wanted to ask it earlier, but I was waiting for a student's question. So I'm going to read Nikita's question, and it's something that Shai likes to address. By the way, I'm just going to pause for a second and say that Shai every week does something called Coffee with Shai, and it's a great kind of like a series that we put on his social media, and it's where Shai covers different topics. And this, what I'm going to ask you, is a topic you've been covering recently that I find very fascinating. So Nikita asks, with the rapid advancements in AI and online learning technologies, how do you envision UO People evolving its pedagogical Shai approach to remain at the forefront of accessible and effective education? So this is a great question, Nikita.
Online is a new thing, and it has both its risks and advantages. We all read about how AI can destroy the world, and how people can use it to abuse other people, other governments, create wars, etc., etc. I think that in education, if you do it right, it is an amazing opportunity. So AI is can be an amazing tool for students. You know, some people talk about the risk of students cheating using AI. Some don't study because of AI, making AI study instead of them and making and getting the grade in front instead of them. This needs to be addressed, and it is being addressed, and it will be resolved. AI, though, can be an amazing tool for us. And I'm now talking only about you people. AI will enable us to recruit better students. Better students, I mean students who are likely to complete their studies with us. If we know in advance that students are unlikely to graduate with us, they shouldn't study with us. Let's not waste their time and our time. It will enable us to reach students that we are unable to reach right now because they are they are in remote areas. AI can help us locate them. Then when they come to us, AI can help us making the courses better under the supervision of our faculty, but help us creating the courses, but even more so, adjust the studies to their needs, because every student study differently. Right now, you sit in the class and all the students study the same material. And we expect them, every institution expects them to study at the same speed as everyone else. Well, that's not exactly the case. Some students study faster than others. Some students like to study by listening, some by reading, some by discussing. Well, AI can tailor the education experience to exactly what you want to study and what you need to the best way that fits your studying habits. So AI can be an amazing tool to create a personal journey, but also help the instructors. AI should not replace the professors. They should be in the class. They should focus on giving the students personal attention. But at the same time, you don't need a professor to answer a question that 70,000 students asked before. And if the student has a question about, can I submit my homework late? You don't need a professor to answer. If you have a question about the content, you don't need a professor to answer because AI can probably do a better job. So actually it will change the focus of the teaching, how and what the professors teach. At the same time, it will help us to identify students at risk because AI can identify when students get into trouble and what they need in order to succeed, and then get and intervene right there. And the last part is to help our students find a job. So basically, AI can be there in every single aspect of the university, can make the education a better experience with better results. And we believe that AI will enable us to serve more students and to serve them much better than we do right now. It will take time, it will take resources, it will take a lot of training of the students and of our faculty. But I think that since AI for sure is here to stay, we need to learn how to adopt it and to make the best use of it, and it can offer us a lot of positive things.
Thank you, Shai. I think that the whole AI topic is so fascinating and how it's impacting everyone's lives on a day-to-day basis, but more specifically in higher education and for University of the People. I do think it's a great tool, and I can't wait to see how it helps University of the People evolve. Okay, moving right along to Melise. Melise has a question for you, Shai. Melise asks, Melise says that University of the People has opened the doors for many students globally, especially those from undeserved communities like Melise. What future strategies or partnerships does UO People plan to implement to further enhance access, employability, and recognition of its graduates in both local and international job markets? Love this question.
So, as I mentioned, most of our graduates, almost all of them, find jobs, and many of them find great jobs. But as we grow, we feel that we should prepare our students, those who need it, to the job market and help them find a job. So again, remember that many of our students work while studying with us. They don't expect us to help them find a job, but if they do expect, we want and we need to help. As such, we develop or are developing a career service center where our students can learn about how to find a job, how to open a LinkedIn page, how to write your CV, how to get ready for an interview. So pretty much preparing the students for the search of the job and to be ready for the job market. This is one part. The second part, we sign an agreement to offer our students virtual internship. And virtual internship is actually exactly what it means. We feel that it is our role to help our students find a job. We offer them now courses on how to prepare for finding a job, but also virtual internship to give them the experience of a real job opportunity, working with real companies, and some of them, actually many of them, will get job offers from the places that they have this internship, and we're planning on continuing and enlarging it.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you for answering. I don't know if you guys can see me. I can't see me. It seems like I'm having a bit of an issue with the server, but I'm going to ask another question. Okay, Shai, this question is from Zara. Zara asks, how does UO People support female students and students from conflict-affected countries?
Okay, this is a good question because we have tens of thousands of students who are coming to us from war zones and countries with conflict. Anyone with internet connection, any kind of internet connection, can study with us. Whether you have a strong internet connection or sporadic internet connection, whether you have it at home, whether you go to internet cafe, any internet connection will work. Moreover, you can work with any device. It can be a computer, it can be laptop, it can be iPad, or it can be a cell phone. And that's how our students study from around the world, some of them in war zones. And what we do, first of all, we enable them to study anywhere they are. Second, nothing is live. Everything is divided by weeks. So as long as you can do the work within a week, you're good. You don't need to be online all the time. So this flexibility is very relevant. Moreover, sometimes we are being called the university in a box. Because if you're in a conflict zone, and then you need to move to another place, in a way, you carry the university with you because, you can connect from everywhere. There is no physical location. We are virtual. So this helps as well. Last but not least, we understand when students have difficulties. We give the flexibility to start with BA. We let the student way more than the typical 4 years to graduate. You can take only one course or take even a break if you need to. We don't force you to continue studying, to adjust to your lifestyle. With us, you can study every day You can study 2 days a week. You can study only on the weekend. You can study every day but the weekend. All the flexibility in the world. But when you think about a conflict zones, you understand how important it is for those people. And every student at University of the People has a program advisor. And the program advisor is there for you, the student, to help you with any issue you have. And if, something happened and you need help, they are the people to try and help you. So when I look at, we did a study for UNHCR. UNHCR stands for United Nations High Commission for Refugees. So that's the UN Refugee Organization. And we did a study actually with them about our refugees. And what we learned is actually that our refugees are doing better than our non-refugee students. Not by a lot, but still better. So our standards is very relevant for people in any circumstances. Again, sometimes people get into a situation where, we had students, I'll tell you a sad story. One of our Syrian students, that one day I'm receiving an email from someone in Turkey who said, President Reshef, I'm in Turkey, and you keep sending emails to my brother. But we had the earthquake. I don't know if you remember, a few years ago, there was earthquake in Turkey, and a lot of people died. And his brother died during the earthquake. Well, we are online university. We don't know that you die unless someone tells us that you die. So we continue sending an email saying, where are you? We miss you. We're trying to encourage our students to come back to us and to continue their studies. But, things happen and we lose students. But many of our students continue studying with us. And I would just say that even those days, we have students in war zones that continue studying with us in spite of the wars there. Yeah.
Wow, I know I'm frozen, but I'm listening to everything you say, and there's actually a part 2 to this question. The part 2 from Zara is, what message do you have for young women from Afghanistan who want to pursue higher education?
Wow. This is a good question. When the Taliban took over Afghanistan, we simply said it's unbelievable and can't be that women will be prevented from higher education. And as such, we decided to open the gates for Afghan women to study with us. We spread the word, and actually in a matter of days, we're having thousands of students applying to study with us. I'm talking about Afghan women. We have over 4,000 Afghan women studying with us, over 4,000 Afghan women studying with us, and we are very happy to have them with us, and we would love to offer even more. I think that we will do whatever we can to accommodate as many Afghan women as we can. We advise them to stay at home, study behind the closed doors, because we know that it might be dangerous. If they will go out studying, don't go out, stay at home, but continue your studies. We do want to offer the opportunity, and the opportunity goes first for those who simply want to enrich themselves. And we have a lot of Afghan women who study in order to enrich themselves, but also to find a job. And the good thing, and actually the surprising thing that we saw, is that by now we have Afghan women who started graduating. And we did a survey of our graduates, the women graduates in Afghanistan, and we found out that 60% of them work from their home remotely with international companies as programmers. This is amazing. They work with international company. They don't leave home. Probably they make quite a significant amount of money, definitely in local terms, but they are part of the world. So the Taliban try to shut women from being part of society and part of the world. And we feel that it's our obligation to open the gates for them. So we do that. Well, we have many more women who apply to us. We cannot accommodate all of them. We don't have the means to do that. All the women in Afghanistan that study with us receive full scholarship. We cannot afford accommodating more unless we have the money. We're trying to raise money for that. But we do as much as we can, and obviously no university in the world opened the gates to so many Afghan women, and we are very proud of doing it. That's exactly us. My message for them, don't give up. You know, the world going through a period of ups and downs and ups and downs, and Afghanistan is not in a good place right now. But let us all be optimistic that things will change and the life will go back to normal. And if you get the right education, you will use it. You will be very successful. And that is important. You will help to rebuild your country when the right time comes. Exactly as our Syrian students who are now coming in thousands, getting back to Syria to rebuild their country after the fall of Assad.
Hey, Shai, thank you so much for that answer. I'm going to ask another question from Raida. Raida asks, are there any plans to organize an official online graduation ceremony where students can celebrate with their family and classmates virtually?
We had two virtual graduation ceremonies to date. One in 2019 and one in 2024, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And they both were virtual, where we had a virtual ceremony to all of our students. You are more than welcome to go online and watch the ceremonies that we had. They are on our website. And I think that, we don't have the capacity, the means to arrange face-to-face graduation, like we don't meet our students ever, except for the rare occasions where I go places and I invite students to meet me. But we don't meet our students, and the same when we do everything virtual, and the same goes to the graduation ceremony. So we had, I think, both of them were amazing graduation ceremonies. We are very happy that we have made it happen, and it will happen again, I'm sure. And all the graduates and to-be graduates will know it in advance, and you will definitely be part of it. You can sit with your family and watch your graduation, or meet your peer graduates in a place and celebrate it with them wherever you are.
Okay, guys. Well, those are all the questions I think we'll have time to answer today. If there's a question that we didn't answer, feel free to message your academic advisor, and he or she will be happy to help you. I love all the engagement in this chat. I think it's really wonderful. I want to thank Shai. Thank you, Shai, and thank you to all our students for joining us. As you begin this academic term, remember you're a part of a global community of 170,126 students from over 213 countries and territories who are showing the world the power of education, and we're so proud of you, and we wish you the best of luck this term. And like Shai said, don't give up. You'll be amazing. Shai, any last final thoughts?
Yeah, I want to just again apologize for everyone, to apologize for the technical difficulties and the quality of the webinar. But we are not the one who made this technology, so it is what it is. But I think I want to thank you for participating in the webinar. And as I said before, and as Jessica just said, you are starting a journey or you are in a journey if you are not a newcomer toward a better future. Please don't give up. Do anything it takes in order to succeed, especially if you encounter difficulties along the way. And believe me, you will, when you graduate, I'm sure that you will say thank me for accepting this advice and graduating and opening for yourself a better future. So I wish all of you a successful academic year and a lot of great achievements in the year to come. Thank you.